Good morning, and thank you for being here. I'm Vic Donahoe, the Director of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. And it's an honor for us to be here and partnering with the Tennessee Truckers Association during their safety break. One of the first events that I attended was a safety break sponsored by the Tennessee Trucking Association down in Dixon at the Dixon Rest area. And I was so impressed by the passion and commitment that this group displayed during that safety break. I was there for about 45 minutes. I felt the need to partner with them on this Memorial Day weekend, the first weekend, what we would call of the start of the summer. And historically, you know, when summer arrives, our fatalities start to rise. The educational materials that they provide to the motoring public about tractor trailers, about commercial vehicles is imperative. Not everyone's been in a tractor and trailer. Not everyone's had the opportunity to sit in the driver's seat and look through a rearview mirror and see notice where the blind spots are. So I appreciate the fact that they are here and across the state, actually, at 3 other locations, providing materials to the motoring public. I also want to thank the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Without the Highway Patrol and their enforcement efforts, the fatalities would continue to rise to an epidemic level. As most of you know, Tennessee has had the last 6 years the lowest fatalities ever recorded, and that's due in part to the efforts of the men and women of the Highway Patrol and the local law enforcement and their efforts in enforcing the laws. There's 4 things that contribute to a lot of crashes. Number 1 is distracted driving, impaired driving, and speeding. And one thing that you can do that will give you a 50% chance of surviving a crash is buckle your seatbelt. Currently, there's about 46% of our fatalities for the driver, the fatality was unbuckled, and that's just not acceptable. So we want to place a special emphasis on buckling up. As I travel the state, there are different areas, the flatland down in Memphis and the hills here in East Tennessee. The same factors occur in each place. The distractions, the failure to wear a seatbelt, and the speeding. So our biggest partner would be the motoring public and a voluntary compliance from the motoring public. We can put all the state troopers, we can put all of the educational people, we can put all the state and local resources available. But without the buy-in from the motoring public and some voluntary compliance, we will not move that needle towards zero. So I ask for some voluntary compliance with the motoring public. I want to thank a few people and recognize a few people before I move on to the next speaker. And one is Kevin Hager, who's out of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. He's a assistant program manager. I want to thank Brenda Jones, who is the LEL administrator. That's the law enforcement liaison administrator. I want to thank Fred Sherrill, who is the law enforcement administrator for this area, and also William Buck Campbell, who is our training coordinator. I also want to thank Captain Jeff Mosley, whom I've known for 30 years. I appreciate his presence and the troopers that he has brought with him today. Now we'll move on to the next speaker. Catherine Stewart is one of the first ladies that I met when I walked down to the Dixon safety break, I guess in 2017. And the overwhelming enthusiasm that she displayed and the team members that were there displayed resonated with me for the passion of safety that they have by providing education. Troopers have that same, or law enforcement have the same compassion or passion, but it's for enforcement. It's not as much for education. So I want to recognize Catherine and let her say a few words, and thank you for allowing us to be here and at your safety break, and we're just honored to be here and say a few words. Thank you.
I'm going to be very brief because I'm usually in the background. The first thing I want to say is good morning, and I want to thank Vic and Ariel and all the other Tennessee State employees that made this possible. We have never had this kind of coverage and support that I know of since I've been there. And I think this is awesome. I hope we all can embrace it for what it is and understand the importance and what it does for us. I do also want to recognize really quickly the groups that make these possible at the 4 locations across the state are our Safety and Maintenance Council members. These are the people that get the people to donate. They're the people that volunteer their time at the 4 locations. They do all this work. They have the coffee ready. They greet the people. I think they have the drunk goggles, so they let them have some unique experiences. I'm not going to try to name all of you, but if you're with the Safety and Maintenance Council here volunteering, would you raise your hand? And I'm going to give all of y'all a hand, and thank you so much for allowing us to be here. And the reason I'm here is because of our dignitaries that are with me today, and I want to introduce them to you. Tennessee has 24 professional drivers that are a part of our road team. They go across the country across the state all year long, promoting safety to schools, churches, senior citizen centers, public events. They do this all year, not just one day of the year. And our road team captains, we have 2 represented here. They're in the white. The first one here is Dale Moore. He's with First Fleet Freight out of Murfreesboro. And then we have Carl Johnson, who's with McKee Foods Transportation here out of this area in the white. Now, these captains, when they make it to our team, they aspire to make it even higher to even a more professional level of truck drivers, which is our America's Road team. You may have seen some of them at Washington with the president when they took their truck up there and said, "Mr. President, this is what it's like from a truck." And they got him in the truck. So this is Gary Helms. He's with Covenant Transport, also here in Chattanooga. And this is, I got to look his name up, Wayne Crowder. He's with FedEx. I've known Wayne for 4 years now. But they go across the country with these nice big trucks. There's a simulator in the back, and you're welcome to join them out there and get to see what it's like getting in the big truck and driving it. But what we are promoting here today, once again, is safety. Our main focus is on drowsy driving because we realize that a lot of these people come in here, they worked all day, they worked all night, they put the family in the car or the van, they drive here, they stop, they tell us they're going 700 miles before they're going to stop, and we just want to encourage them to take a break and be aware of the dangers of this drowsy driving. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. The mission of the Highway Safety Office is to develop, execute, and evaluate safety programs. And the safety break was, like I said, one of the first that I was able to attend, and I would call it evaluation, and evaluate the effectiveness. These are the experts in tractor-trailer commercial vehicle driving, and it's an honor for us to share this day with them. Now it's my honor to introduce Sergeant Alan Bailey with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and he's going to go over some statistics from last year compared to this year and discuss the enforcement side of safety for the upcoming holiday weekend. Thank you.
Please don't fall. Thank you. I appreciate everybody that come out, and I appreciate all the people behind me. As the director said, Memorial Day is the kickoff to the summer holiday driving season. We have school that's letting out or just got out or fixing to. We have families going on vacations, and also people are doing more outdoor activities such as riding motorcycles. Expect the holiday season, the general public expect the holiday season to have heavy traffic, more crashes, and more delays on the roadways. In 2017, state of Tennessee had 1,041 fatalities in the state. Even though it was a lower number than in a lot of the previous years, it's still not good enough for us. The truth is that any given day that you get out in a car and drive, then you're subject to have a crash. And the Highway Patrol and all the people standing behind us, behind me, we care about the safety of the public. Our goal for this weekend in the Chattanooga district and throughout the state is 0 fatalities. That's what we like to see. All agencies will have additional manpower out. You may see checkpoints, and like I said, expected delay on the interstates. In 2017, from Friday through Monday, the Memorial Holiday season, the Chattanooga district had 3 fatalities. We arrested 11 DUIs. We wrote 104 citations and 248 speeding tickets. I'm sorry, 104 seatbelt citations, 248 speeding tickets. Across statewide, we had 17 fatalities the Memorial Day weekend. Out of those 17 fatalities, 43.6% were alcohol related, and 55.6% were not restrained occupants inside the vehicle. And those numbers, even though they're pretty decent numbers, it's not good enough. It's still not good enough. The last thing I'll say is this holiday season, if you're going to get out and travel, do the right thing. Buckle up, drive the speed limit, do not drive distracted, and do not drive under the influence. Thank you.
Thank you. As he mentioned, this weekend there won't be any construction, but I want to also make mention of our state workers with TDOT, who work very hard on our roadways on a daily basis, and remind everyone to move over when you see a TDOT worker, emergency worker on the side of the road, a highway patrol car. Our TDOT workers are out. Their office is the roadway with cars whizzing by at 70 miles an hour. So please remember to slow down when you're in a construction zone. Now it's my honor to introduce the Assistant Commissioner of Tourism, Pete Rosenborough. Pete and I attended a class together in 2012 and became very good friends. And although he is in tourism, you may try to understand what the connection is between tourism and safety. The connection is, if the roads aren't safe, if we're not patrolling the roads, we're not going to have tourism. So Pete jumped on board very quickly with educational material, with supporting safety in any way possible, and he's here today. He's going to say a few words about tourism in Tennessee. Thank you.
Good morning, and I first want to thank everybody for allowing the Department of Tourist Development to come to this event today. As Vic said, tourism in Tennessee in 2016, we did about $17.3 billion in economic impact to the state. One of our main jobs is we promote travel to and within Tennessee. The key word of that is travel. So kind of tying that in, we have visitors that come to Tennessee for various reasons, food, scenic beauty, history, and of course our music. But more, when we talk about those people that come to Tennessee, 90% of the visitors that come to Tennessee are still coming by automobile. Maintaining good and safe roads is critical to tourism. Travelers are not going to come to a place where they don't have roads are not maintained and they feel safe. As we sit here today, we're at one of the 19 rest areas throughout the state, and there's 16 welcome centers. A major role of rest areas and welcome centers is to provide a clean, safe, comfortable, safety traveler rest break. If we do that, some of the things that these people behind me talked about, you'll see those numbers reduce. So tourism and highway safety and maintaining good roads does go hand in hand. So the Department of Tourist Development will jump on board when we have events like this to partner with the Highway Safety Office, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Tennessee Department of Transportation to promote safety and awareness events. One of the big things that we were able to do is we're able to display literature throughout the welcome centers and the rest areas throughout the state. So it gives our guests an opportunity to come in, take a traveler safety rest break, and get literature or see awareness posters or whatever the case may be as they are visiting our statewide rest areas and welcome centers. So hopefully that sort of tells you how tourism and traveler safety ties in. So again, I appreciate it. Hope everybody has a good day here at this Nickajack rest area. And as I finish up here, let's please just remember the fallen servicemen and women as we go into this Memorial Day weekend. Thank you.
That concludes the press conference. Will be available for any questions, or if you want to ask any questions now, we'll take questions. Or if you-
Can you talk a little bit about motorcycle safety as well? No? If not, that's okay.
I can tell you that,
Sorry.
last year, Memorial Day weekend, we had 4 fatalities on motorcycles, none of them which were wearing their helmet. The motorcycles themselves are, there's no protection for the rider. But the most danger is other cars hitting the motorcycles. And because they're so small, and you've got to be mindful to watch out for those motorcycles, and hopefully they've got their lights on and when they drive, and just be aware that they're out there, and especially beautiful weather like we have today, and being the holiday season.